Merry meet and welcome to Lex Dragon Queen Magic. I'm Taylor and this is our month ahead reading. So welcome to our Tuesdays with Tarot if you are new here, and thank you for being here. Before we go ahead and have you choose one of these Pegasus that is calling out to you and traveling to the timestamp below, I do have a centering prayer from our book. You may have seen it within the my morning rituals. And so centering prayers by Peter Trabant Haas. And so it is. As if God says to me, I am the eternal waiting for all to return home to me. Your arrival is not to a place per se, it is to a relationship. Your prayer supports your return in our growing relationship. So definitely take that prayer as it resonates. You may have needed that to help center yourself, or it may be something to help you remember centering as you go through this month, moving forward and really gaining focus and perspective around your goals and intentions. So with that being said, let's go ahead and travel to those timestamps below, and I'll see you there. Merry meet pile one. If you chose this Pegasus, this is going to be your month ahead reading. So let's go ahead and get started. So right away, of course, we do have the Pegasus of the Black Diamond coming forward for you. So something I didn't mention in the beginning is that all of these identifier Pegasus cards are actually going to be representative of the person who chose the pile. So right away, what this is telling me is a couple of really beautiful things. So the first thing I'm hearing, one, you are literally just so magnetic and beautiful and just attractive, especially in this month ahead. You're not only going to be feeling it, but like those around you are going to be seeing it. Like I'm seeing like the whole like ugly duckling to a swan narrative, but I mean it. It's coming through more so in a sense of like maturity, whether that be emotional, spiritual, or intellectual. So definitely take that how it resonates. Like I'm also seeing it's more of an acceptance of like who you are and where you've come from. And so that brings us to the second beautiful point, is this Pegasus of the Black Diamond is often meant to characterize the beauty and pain, the beauty of the pain that we often have to go through, and how we're able to transform that pain into something that is healing and beneficial, not only for ourselves, but for others. That's going to be very important for those within this pile today, is I'm really seeing that that's why you're going to be so so magnetic. Oh, I'm seeing you're not really used to being in the spotlight, and that's why we're really seeing like maybe some shadows within this. So very interesting. So I'm seeing as much as you chose this, you might be like, I am not interested in interacting with people whatsoever, and that is coming through. More so what's coming through is that Spirit is saying you just will naturally, people will be attracted to you though, so any firm boundaries that you need to practice, this definitely is going to be a month to just reaffirm those, and that this is going to be a good month to just speak up for yourself is what I'm seeing. Yeah, what I'm hearing is that you are able to share your lessons now, your life lessons that you've learned, and people are going to not only recognize but really listen to them. And so that may not have been your experience in the past, but there's a certain confidence that you've gained, a certain new perspective, maybe just a spiritual awakening that you've gone through that is really coming through, stating that you are this beautiful diamond. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it there because I just really want you to take this energy. Like I've never noticed this actually, just how bright it shines completely. And I've also never noticed this, just how much it is literally coming from the diamond. So it is so interesting because you would almost say like this Pegasus in itself is beautiful. So would you argue, is the beauty the Pegasus or is the beauty the diamond? And then it's surrounded by all this darkness, but you have managed not only to make this diamond shine, but to make yourself shine. And it is gorgeous. So just like you. Perfect. Wow. Again, I'm going to go ahead and leave that there because I just want you to really take in this energy and understanding that you are doing the right thing, and what you have gone through. I'm hearing too, something coming through is if you've been working on like forgiveness and like letting go of seeing justice or seeking justice, that is also something there, but you've kind of really let go, and you kind of are like, I'm seeing the Judgment card come up in the sense of you really are like, you know what, karma will work as it does. I'm within my own divine timing, and I'm going to do what I can rather than letting people focus on the shadows around me. So this is again why you're going to be seen as more magnetic and attractive, because you are focusing on the shine. You literally are like not letting you're not letting like storm clouds be a part of your story anymore. So yeah, something too also coming through is instead of like calling it like that you're in the shadow, you're like, no, it's nighttime, but look at all these beautiful stars around me. And Spirit is coming through another message so much. So like wherever you are at, like take it for what it is, for sure. But the other thing coming through is that Spirit just wanted to reaffirm, like, you yourself are a star, you also are shining. And so it just really is this very beautiful, and I'm hearing you really are supporting others. So as secluded as you may feel, as secluded as you may be making yourself, Spirit is saying that you're still doing the work that you need to be in order to support those around you. And I'm hearing support a collective. So I'm hearing like maybe what you're working on, again, really big spiritual awakening coming up. So I'm really hearing that what you are working on in that sense is just going exactly the way it needs to. So definitely trust in the process and trust in yourself. But yes, let's go ahead and leave that right there. So the other thing I wanted to look into is the energies of the moon, because at the time of this reading, we are in the time of a new moon energy. And so we're really setting intentions, not just for the next 2 weeks, but really for the whole month. And we just want to see what energies are supporting us in those intentions. And so the first card, wow, I've never seen this. It's so beautiful. Oh, yeah, that's a theme for you, just constant beauty. Sorry, before I go into this, so that is something too I'm hearing, is like you really are able to see the beauty of the situation. And wow, I'm just like, you're able to see beauty all around you. There we go. That's what I wanted to say. Very divine feminine energies within this reading as well. So take that how it resonates. Okay, so conclusions are within reach. Full moon eclipse. Okay, so something I want to bring up is the symbolic, like it literally has that almost same energy glow that we see within the diamond. And so it kind of is literally a night sky actually now that I'm looking at it. It has clouds. So this actually is a night sky. And so this is another very starry card, which we don't see often within the Moonology deck. So the other reason why I really want to just bring that up is because its message is conclusions are within reach. So this really is Spirit coming through and confirming that what I'm hearing is you just recently came to a conclusion already, and like changed your mental perspective, your mental energy, kind of just how you're viewing how you're working within the world is how I'm hearing. So take it how it resonates, because it's going to be different based on like maybe you're working on a project, maybe you're just trying to spend more time with family, just depending on how you are, what your intentions and focus are on. What I'm hearing is that you recently got a new perspective around that, and now you're going to gain another conclusion around what you're working on. So it's this really interesting energy where you kind of have like this know-it-all mentality of like, yeah, I already know what I'm doing. I know what I'm working on next. I've already gotten that mental clarity. Next card, please. And Spirit is trying to pause here and just wants to reaffirm, like, you're still learning. There's going to be something else that is revealed to you that is more of a true conclusion, because you're really still in the process right now. You're still in the process of recognizing the diamond. So okay, sorry, it's more of, I got the imagery, which is interesting because I literally have no idea how this process is done, but where like a raw diamond is taken and then cut into certain cuts, such as like the princess cut, trying to think of any oval cut, pendant, so any, like how it is then transformed. So that is what Spirit is telling me, is like you're kind of just, you're going to be deciding like what cut of diamond you are and what cut of diamond you are able to produce and give to others. So very beautiful. Yeah, just such bright energy. I'm hearing again that you really are able to support like a collective divine feminine energy coming in again around just like being at the center of a community, but not so like obtuse about it. Like it's just this really like soft, gentle energy that you are just like supporting them in the night. Like if there's a weary soul, okay, so like when you're feeling like restless in the night and you need a little extra support, like that's the kind of leader that you are, and that's the kind of support you give. But most of the time you're like, no, find your own energy, work on it how you will. And that you're like encouraging people to understand that they themselves are also stars. So very interesting energies coming through. I am so curious what you're working on. Definitely comment below. I know I say this every time, but I would just love to hear more about the project and how you are bringing this beautiful diamond to shine even brighter. Okay, we have another Moonology for you. Okay, wow, the end of a tough cycle approaches, full moon in Capricorn. So this is so interesting. So you might want to look back around what was happening during the last full moon in Capricorn, as well as when the next one is coming. So that might be important for some people who are really like, yes, moon and stars, I'm loving this. This is exactly what I work with, and what I'm learning about. So this is just more of a nod to learn more about that. I'm also hearing, if you may have very strong Capricorn, and it really seems like your intentions are requiring you to take on the aspects of Capricorn. And so really what I'm being guided to share is to find where Capricorn is within your chart. And you may not have it, and that is okay. Maybe just kind of understand, maybe through figuring that out, you might see you have a lot of the reverse of Capricorn. I'm so sorry, my mind cannot think of what its polar opposite is. I want to say it's Cancer, which I really should know because that is my topical sun. But yes, anyways, so with that though, you might say that you have like maybe a lot more of that like watery energy when instead you need this earth energy. And so it's really just wanting you to bring in highlight into exactly what Capricorn is and works as. Sorry about that. My cat's just tearing up his cat tree. So the main message, though, that is going to be here for no matter if you want to look into where your Capricorn is within the chart, and how Capricorn energy is going to be supported for you and your intentions moving forward. The main thing, too, that's coming up is you are getting this, like, conclusions are within your reach. The end of a tough cycle approaches. The diamond has been formed and made. So I think that's something very interesting to note, especially I'll share a certain metaphor that I've used throughout my life. But something to note is the process of making the diamond has been completed. And so it might be something that you need to recognize is that it has been completed. Maybe that's actually part of what you've already seen. And so why now you're able to say, you know what, I have gone through it. I have put in the work. And so now you're able to really step into this energy of, well, what does that diamond really look like? And like, what do I want it to look like? Kind of mentality. And then what I was going to share is I really used to see myself as if I was like in a mud pit and like trying to climb out of it and just like sliding back. And that was like my mentality for a lot of like since high school. And then at a certain point in my life, I'm pretty sure I was a homeowner before I actually like revisited this, but I was like, I can't look at myself as if I'm still in that mud pit anymore because I clearly am not. And so I kind of changed the metaphor into how I did climb out of that mud pit, but then I just started immediately climbing the side of a mountain, which is not the easiest way for my metaphor. Like there's a very easyable, hikeable trail, but instead I just kept going and like didn't look up or look around to notice like the sky was brighter or to see like the brilliance around me. Something again coming up, the brilliance around you. So you are recognizing this. You're able to like kind of take pause and understand that you really have gone through the difficult times. You are no longer in that mud pit. You are now on the mountain. Maybe you've been on the mountain. Maybe you've already reached a peak before recognizing just how far you've come from the valley. So just very beautiful energy. I'm seeing for your month ahead that it is ending and you're just having this very like breath of relief throughout the month. So we did have certain, because this is a month reading, so something that I'm going to temper is a lot of this really wants it to be at the very beginning of the month, but what I'm seeing, it's going to be kind of like an ebb and flow throughout the month. And so you're still going to have certain struggles, certain shadows that are triggered within you as you move forward, but ultimately you are going to still be gaining this more positive mentality. And what I'm seeing is that positive mentality is going to affect those around you as well. So moving into the next cards, we actually have the Love Tarot for our month ahead. And so we have the Magician. So right away, what's coming forward for me is that you really are making choices and you're understanding that a lot of, oh wow, I'm hearing like you really are coming into more self-love. You're really understanding more about like the love within your other relationship. You're understanding just how much choice there is, not only for yourself, but for them as well. And it's really helping you understand those boundaries and how much you need to communicate it. And also sometimes how much you need to let go. So like, for instance, you might have someone where you're like kind of recognizing like how they're choosing to prioritize their time is not including you. And so you're like, okay. And then you kind of have to think like, well, do I want to bring this up so that we can have a closer relationship, or do I want to go ahead and say, you know, I also have not been reaching out to you as well, and letting that relationship, I'm hearing not like die out, but kind of just give more room for that relationship that is just more supportive for both of your energies and how you view friendships. So very great energy coming through, and that is also for romantic. So something too, if you are in connection, what I'm hearing is that there really is kind of this is going to be for very few, but there is this sense of needing to choose your partner again, or needing to choose yourself over a toxic partner. So definitely take that how it resonates. The ultimate thing I'm seeing though is like you really are understanding how to choose yourself and how others are choosing in their relationship. So it's more that you're like seeing it from a very higher perspective than really interacting with it. But that is kind of going to be part of your month, is interacting with this energy and learning. And so next for you, we do have the Wheel of Fortune. So that is so interesting. So the thing about the Wheel of Fortune that is like in the love tarot that you want is to not be on it. Instead, you want to kind of be, maybe I'm getting it mixed up, but for this one, I'm seeing that you're exactly where you need to be in regards to the Wheel of Time. So what I'm seeing is that you aren't necessarily within the chaotic energy of it and just like letting wheels spin out of control, but you also are not letting time move forward without you. Like you are integrating yourself when you need to, and you are, I'm hearing, taking time within your relationship. So yeah, I'm hearing like your choices are leading to how you spend your time and vice versa. And so you're really seeing like certain priorities come out in certain relationships who are really supportive to you versus certain relationships that are maybe like for good times only, or like every once in a while. And so you're really trying to understand exactly how you want to interact with the world around you. Now for, you have one more. And so then we also have the Judgment coming out for you. Okay, what did I say? So very much, oh wow. Okay. So something coming through with Judgment, especially within the Love Tarot, is it really is, its energies can be very similar to that of the Justice card, because it typically involves a certain choice or a certain awakening that is happening. And so something that really is coming forward, and that we've kind of really already touched on within all of these, is that you are understanding where your energies are at and how you're able to interact with the world around you more, and you are seeing a lot more things from a higher perspective. And I'm seeing like you really are becoming more loving, not just for yourself, but for those around you. Like you're understanding spiritual love, and I'm seeing you're just not limiting yourself as you go through this, and you're also not limiting yourself in your relationship. So if you want to share and you're like, if I can't speak up and I can't share my truth, then that's not a good relationship for me. And so that's something that's really coming through. So for some of you, there are going to be relationships that are ending. Oh my goodness, sorry. This literally, I mean, I didn't set it up for this, but it literally is over the end of a tough cycle approaches. So some of you are ending these like strained relationships that are just not beneficial for you or that person. So very good encouragement. And also I'm hearing, so there is still going to be those shadows that are popping up because you're shining so bright, and so you're still this very attractive magnetic person, which is why you need to have these boundaries in place, especially with those who these cycles are ending with. And I'm also hearing, especially that's why we're having Judgment come out, is it is a transformation of the relationship. So again, it's not for some of you, it really is like maybe you had a best friend, you guys were really close, but just like through life you're on different paths now, and so it's really coming to an understanding that you guys maybe don't call each other best friends anymore, but you're still friends and you still have those past memories of each other, but you're able to move forward as individuals and still keep a somewhat connection. So take that how it resonates, but it is this just certain level of acceptance as you're moving forward into this month of March. So very interesting, because it really did come up more for me in the beginning as your intentions around a project and how you're supporting the collective around you. So maybe your project is dealing with your actual community and working with people, and that's why. But we're seeing that you're able to really take the lessons that you know around relationships and apply them to all kinds of relationships. So that is something too. I know this was a little love tarot, but it's actually primarily for every relationship that you are interacting with. For very few of you, as I mentioned, is it actually in regards to needing to recommit to your partner, reprioritize your time together, And then for others, needing to understand that maybe you and your partner aren't priorities for each other, and that's okay. Same thing with that best friend, right? You probably were best friends, and understanding that you're able to move forward as individuals instead of that partnership that you had. So something very interesting that we have as a concept within the true love reading cards, and I know it's not here today, is that you create in a relationship, it is a whole separate entity. And so if I'm going to take this to a business side, which is very interesting, but it's like you typically have this partnership and you guys made this business together, but you guys now are like, well, I really wanted the business to go in this direction. And your partner is saying, well, I wanted it to go in this direction. And so what you guys may be finding is that it's time to dissolve that business and then break away from the partnership. So just take that how it resonates, but essentially you're not saying that you didn't take time, energy, and efforts, that you didn't need that when it was happening. And yeah, you're not disrespecting the time. It wasn't wasted energies or efforts. So what I'm hearing, like there was still love and true connection within it. For a lot of you, it probably was a karmic partner in the best of ways. So I'm hearing, like, for some of you, it was a very toxic partner, but for some of you who are struggling with saying the goodbye, that's why this is coming through. If it's an easy goodbye, take that as it resonates and just continue to love yourself. But for those of you who are struggling to love yourself because you love this other person, understand that you can do both as you move forward into separate directions. And yeah, I just really encourage you to, actually, we do have some more cards. So let's go ahead and jump into the external energies that are going to be supporting you. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we have love. Listen to your heart. Embrace what makes you happy. There are 1 million reasons to love. This is just everything. So you really are just learning how to love in all relationships, especially yourself. And it just echoes for those of you who are in that moment, who are needing to step away from a relationship, that you are able to do so with love. So take this. I was going to say take it how it resonates, but this 100% is for everyone within this pile, that love is surrounding you within this month, and it is shining and coming forth from you. You are a fountain of it, is what I'm seeing. And yeah, I mean, I'm seeing like maybe you've kept the lid on it for so long, and like maybe people have like tainted that fountain, and so you've like shut the gates to it, and you said no more people can hurt me in this way again. And so now you're interacting here with like, well, now I've gone through all of these lessons and now I want to share that, but that means opening up myself again. And so this is really what we're seeing coming forward in this month. So great. There are a lot of different energies here. So again, I just really want to encourage everyone who is here to follow your intuition for what is resonating, because there is, for some of you, you want it to be so bad about a relationship, and it really isn't about that. It really is more about the relationship with yourself. And then for those of you, you're like, I don't want this to be about my marriage. I don't want this to be about my life partner. I don't want this to be about my best friend. And it is. But Spirit is saying like, it is okay. So that is kind of like something we heard at the very beginning, is you might have gained a recent new perspective. And so part of grief and change, part of change is actually still going through the 5 stages of grief. And so with that, there is still a certain sense of denial. There's still anger. There's still depression. Bargaining. There we go. There's still bargaining, right? I think we see that a lot of times in the ending of relationships. And so just kind of putting a name to it and understanding that you are going through this very powerful change will help you come into the acceptance of it. So just understand that this is the energy for the entire month. You don't need to be a-okay at the very beginning. All right, and then we do have another card for you. So we have awareness. Pay attention to the I'm sorry, I can't pronounce that word. Look with new eyes. There are signs and omens everywhere. Okay, so I really love this energy for you, because it's just all like both of this love and awareness energy. These are just already guaranteed for you this month. No, and for everyone here. So, oh, I'm seeing dragonflies. So if that is an important symbol for anyone, definitely take that as it resonates. If you've been seeing them lately, something too, as you move forward in the month, if you see a lot of butterflies and dragonflies, know that that is your, however you see your spirit guides, ancestors, angels, gods and deities, however you see them, that is just kind of like letting you know, fairies, that there is a certain magic around you and loving and supporting you. So very, very beautiful. Again, just beauty coming through so much within your reading. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and see about what is your divine energy asking of you for this month. So we do have 3 of these cards for you guys. So as I've mentioned, we do have multiple energies here. And so you may resonate with all these cards, you may resonate with only one of them, and I just encourage you to give yourself grace and work within the boundaries that you have set for yourself. Okay, and so first we have engage higher reasoning. This, you're already doing this, so this is just those moments. I'm going to temper this with like to encourage you to pause often so that you can engage your higher reasoning. Because when you pause, it'll just kind of be this natural light that turns on for you. Yeah, right? Light from the inside. But you are needing to pause and stop in order to actually engage with this energy. Okay. And then the next one we have is ask with sincerity. So something very interesting coming up for this is that you can take this not only for when you are interacting with your higher self, with your ancestors and your spirit guides, however you see them, but also with those people in those relationships, right? Your month is going to be a lot about your relationships and how you're interacting with the world. And so I'm hearing something to do is that you can over communicate and just be sincere and ask with sincerity whenever you are feeling troubled, especially if you are kind of at your wit's end, right? You're going through grief. Maybe you're in that bargaining stage and you're like, what can I do? And just being sincere in like what you're able to do and what you can't do as well. So that is something too that comes with awareness, is knowing your own limits and being sincere with them. And then lastly for you, we have look forward. All right. This is just confirmation, nothing else. If you hated this reading, if you're like, I don't want to deal with all of these energies moving forward into this month, I'm so tired, I've been struggling with this already, I just want this energy to be over. This is Spirit saying that you can come here and you can look forward at the fact that, one, this is just a month in time. Like, how many months are you going to live within your life if you're lucky, right? Sorry, that might have been morbid. But that is the point. Like, how many months do you remember from, like, say, high school, right? So for, I think, quite a few of us in this collective, at least, are going to be at an interesting point in our lives where you're at least old enough to understand that those things where you're like, you're right, I used to care a lot more about like every single day, to where now you're able to see like time is still moving forward. So like sometimes you're just in those bad energies for that day and it is okay. And Spirit just wants you to give yourself grace. Ask with sincerity what you need to do to help alleviate those energies and just look forward, right? You're engaging your higher reasoning when you do that. And oh yeah, I just saw the Magician peeping out here. So you really are just bringing choice into it all and you're moving forward in the time that you need to. And so it is just this really great big confirmation from Spirit saying that however you are working, you're doing it fantastically. And yeah, it's just a moment in time. It's just a moment in time. Oh, something too that just came through is if you really are like, can't get, sorry, I was just thinking it's ironic that Spirit is like, I mean, if you're too present in the moment, don't like drown yourself in it. And so maybe something to do with like look forward is to actively work on like, what will your life look like after this transition? What will your life look like with your intentions realized? What would your life look like if this relationship was different? So definitely take it how it resonates. The last thing I'm going to go ahead and do is just grab a small handful of letters, and you guys may just want to take however it resonates for you. You may see certain names, words, letters. I hope you see letters. But you may be able to pick out certain things that have a certain meaning for you. Okay. Something to note is with this, there is a lot of times that I'm seeing late. Something coming through for me is that it's not too late. I'm also seeing slate in the sense of wiping a slate clean. There's rose. I've mentioned we have the Divine Feminine here, so just definitely take it. I'm seeing ire. So something, a word that I really can't explain, but I would encourage you to look it up. It essentially is an emotion, and this energy might be there. I'm seeing cite, as in like a citation, like you're citing sources. I did see something else. Oh, sire. I was seeing sire. So something coming through for Divine Feminine is like there might be this very interesting, there might be a pregnancy somewhere within this reading for some people, like it might be within the project, and it might just be working in regards to a partner and starting something new. I'm also seeing the word close. Ooh, I'm also seeing, so I'm seeing it's the word close, and then it also can be the word close. And then, because then I actually was hearing the word closer. So you're like making the choice to become the closer. So with that, I'm going to go ahead, move these around. I'm seeing some other letters, but I just encourage you guys to take however they all resonate and whatever really stands out for you. But I want to thank you again for being here. Thank you for liking and subscribing. Don't forget to comment below. Let us know what you're working on. Let us know what your forward movement plans are and gain some support from that like-minded community. Thank you again, Pile 1, for being here, and blessed be. Real quick, Pile 1, before I finish cleaning up, something I wanted to say about the letters is that sometimes there are certain meanings for just a letter itself. Like if you see the letter Y, which I know didn't come up in this one, but it could mean that you are branching off into something new. And so definitely take it how it resonates. Like a T could mean that you are at a cross section. So I just encourage you to be eclectic in how you look into these symbols and understand that letters themselves are also symbols. Thank you again, and I'll see you guys next time. Merry meet Pile 2 if you chose this reading. I'm sorry, this Pegasus, this is your month ahead reading. And so let's get started. So right away we have the mandala of Pegasus coming out. So something very interesting about this is these Pegasus were meant to be identifiers of yourself. So something interesting that is coming out for me is, oh, okay. So there is actually a twin flame card within the Pegasus. So what I am seeing is that there is this, it's not necessarily a twin flame journey that you are on, but there is a very much divine partnership. So it might just be a karmic relationship that you're in, but there is a divine partnership that you are working on right now, and that is really resonating with you. Something else that is coming through for those of you who are like, there's no one in my life like that, is that you are working very highly with spirit or very highly with a lot of self-development. So I'm hearing like a lot of like mirror talk, a lot of like vision boards, self-affirmations, but something is that you are this trusting factor. So if you take anything from this card as a representation of you, I'm hearing that trust is a key word of your personality, and especially for this month moving forward. So we're going to get some more cards in regards to exactly why that is going to be a key word moving forward and exactly how that relates to you. But I'm also hearing you're trusting in the divine timing. There's a lot of patience coming forward from this deck, whether or not you have it or you're being asked to have it. So take that as it resonates. I'm also seeing this is a very spiritual group and very much like you are seeking peace and trying to cultivate it. So very interesting energies. I would say you yourself probably find yourself mysterious in the sense of, yeah, it almost even. So like you're really like diving deep into like a spiritual realm of some sort, and it's either with a partner or a mentor of sorts, so with literally spirit, or is in regards to like your own ancestors. So very interesting, a lot of like spiritualism just coming through, and a lot of trust in that what you're working in is working out exactly as it's meant to. So let's go ahead and just grab some the rest of your cards. So we do have some Moonology to take a look into the full moon energies. I'm so sorry, I got distracted because I thought I lost a card. This is the Moonology deck for the new moon energies because we are setting intentions around this time, not just for the 2 weeks, but for the full 2 weeks. So something to note, that was definitely a slip of some kind. So the full moon might be very important for you this month in regards to realizing your divine timing. So yes, definitely take that how it resonates. So, first card for you, we have Expect Powerful Change, New Moon, Eclipse. Okay. Something with this is so beautiful because I hear that's why you're trusting. I'm hearing you've been trusting for a very long time, and that is why this is so important. And that's why like we're getting high spiritualism coming through from this group, is because you've kind of been putting in the work. And so I'm not seeing necessarily it's a spiritual awakening that is happening. I'm honestly getting it's more of like, that's why you've been like so internal. That's why your card is coming up as so internal, is because you've been putting in a lot of internal work. And so now your external world is about to change. And so the new moon eclipse is so powerful for you. especially at the time of this reading and the fact that we are in the new moon energy. So whatever intentions that you are setting for this month ahead, I would, again, we saw that full moon, so I would not only expect it to be manifested, I would expect, like, I would get in the habit of, like, whatever you're trying to manifest to saying, like, or more or better, because that is kind of the energy that is already surrounding you. And if you put your intention into it, Spirit is just going to give that more. And something that just came through for a lot of you within this group, because you were such high trusting, you're like, yes, I'm going to start doing that because I know it's a fact. And so this is just the energy that you want to cultivate this entire month, though, is just trusting in the energies around you and the fact. And also I'm hearing, like, trusting yourself and that you've put in the work. Like, I'm hearing you've gained such self-assurance for yourself that now you've kind of also transmuted to where you have gained such trust in the universe, and even despite everything going on kind of mentality. So yes, expect a powerful change. Okay, and then we also have for you full moon in Pisces, found spirituality and practicality. All right, very interesting. Definitely go ahead and look up when the full moon in Pisces is, but this is our new moon in Pisces, so very interesting. The main thing that actually is going to be coming up for me in regards to this card for you is the fact that you are so spiritual, and now this month you're going to be working a lot more on how to make it more practical. So what are you manifesting? What are your intentions? And how are you birthing them into this world is really what I'm seeing. So yeah. Yeah, I'm getting very much like the plans and intentions that you put, as much as you're trusting the universe, you are also needing to be an active co-creator with them. And so that's why there's a certain recognition of the fact that you are needing to balance out all of the lessons that you've learned and how to bring it into from the 5D world into the 3D world is what's mainly coming through. So very interesting. I'm getting like very like shaman aspects for this pile, high priestess. So very, very interesting. We do have another, and so we have a win-win outcome is forecast, full moon in Libra. This is absolutely beautiful. 100%, whatever you are intending, whatever your manifestations, add that or more or better, and Spirit is going to come through, because that is what's happening. You just have this beautiful divine timing is on your side. Expect a powerful change. It is here. It is happening. This is not only your confirmation, because I'm hearing like it's really hard to kind of like you maybe have been hearing confirmation, but like now it's coming up in almost all of your readings. And so it's like Spirit is saying, like, just continue to trust in this time and what you're working on. So if you need something to focus on, it is just continuing to balance your spirituality and how to bring it into the practical world. And also the reason why you're working on that, and maybe that's part of your intention already. And so this really is just like that high resonating, like, yes, I'm doing it. And Spirit is again just coming through and saying, like, yes, you are doing it. And they're like they're not even propelling you forward. It's like, I just got the image of like you are on a jet ski in the water, and like Spirit is the water, but your trust is the jet ski though. And so like it's your trust that is propelling you forward into what's meant for you. Like if you're like going towards an island kind of thing, maybe it's just to see dolphins, like whatever your intentions are, it's going to be more than you expected. Yeah, expect a powerful change, especially because if you expect too little, it's going to be so much greater. So again, it's really this being very open to trusting into the universe, and I'm hearing you're doing it beautifully. So just keep going with that energy. Okay, so we do have the Love Tarot for our tarot. We only had one card come out for you, and we had Strength. So very interesting, especially actually in the for this Love Tarot. So Strength across all decks I think is typically around the same meanings, but within the Love Tarot there is a certain patience that comes with Strength, and it really comes out in like patience in relationships. So I'm hearing this really is like you were just trusting, and you're having the patience and strength to hold and wait this month, and because you know who you are. I'm hearing like Broken and Beautiful by Kelly Clarkson. So that song resonates. Definitely go ahead and look it up. But there essentially is a part in it where it's like, I know I had it because I've had it all along, and that's really is the energy that you are cultivating this month. And Spirit is kind of cheering you on this just feels like a big giant confirmation. Yeah, if you've been doubting, if you've maybe needed a little extra boost of encouragement, like this is coming up, because honestly, mostly what's coming through from spirit is that you do trust them. So if you've been thinking, if you've kind of been feeling a little bit lackluster in your faith and what you're working on and how you're going about it, this is spirit's confirmation saying like, no, you're still doing it. Like that's part of balance, right? Sometimes you feel out of balance and to the point of almost tipping over, but then you know, because you've learned that how to balance out that other side. And so spirit is just confirming like you're putting in this thing. It all is just a part of the divine timing, and you are a part of that timing. I'm hearing to you've done the work. You really have worked to align with the seasons and with your own morals and values. And so it is just kind of confirming that you are strength, you are this patience, and that you can continue to hold on to this energy as you move forward. So beautiful. Like, do not forget, you have a win-win outcome is forecasted for you. Okay, so whatever you're working on, however you've been working on it, it's going to be great. All right, so now let's go ahead. We have some external energies that are just going to be supporting you throughout this month. Okay, we have kindness. So live with compassion. Open your heart to all life forms. Be an angel with hands. So something very interesting about this coming through is the be an angel with hands is there's a certain practicality that comes with that, a certain physicalness in this message. So you've really been focusing on what kindness means in a spiritual way. And so now this is practicing it in an external way. And spirit is saying that this energy is going to be supporting and around you this entire time. I'm seeing too, if you see any hearts or feathers, lilies. Yeah, if you see these lilies, like that is going to be a sign from your guides, however you view them, that you are on the right path and that you are exuding the kindness that you need. Sometimes I'm hearing it might be a reminder when you have lilies or see them to go ahead and remember kindness, but most of the time it's going to be a confirmation that you are being kind in the moment. And so I'm hearing there's just a lot of like giving yourself grace and strength and understanding that you have put in the work, and now it's just interacting with the world, which sometimes can be scary, but you're doing it great. Okay, and we do have another one for you. Okay, we have destiny. So acknowledge your mission, align with your purpose. You have gifts to share with the world. I don't even think I need to say more. Oh my gosh, and dolphins? Dolphins. Wow. Okay. Let me just pause down. Pause down, apparently calm down and pause at the same time. Anyway, okay. So dolphins may very much be a symbol for you, an archetype or a motif that you need to look more into. Definitely, I would encourage you, because it's actually very interesting. There's a lot that goes into dolphins and how they're viewed in the world. And so I would just encourage you maybe to follow down that rabbit hole, how it resonates. And then the fact that like one of the images that I saw was about the jet skiing, like maybe you're going to go see dolphins. Maybe you're going to your destiny. What? Anyways, and so this is just a very beautiful, the fact that this is your divine timing coming through again. And this is just confirmation from spirit again, that you can take this month as the fact that you are doing your work. So something I'm hearing, this is for your full month. This is not you heading towards your destiny. It is you being a part of your destiny. So it's, you kind of are already living it. It's more that you're recognizing that you're living it again. Like you've really gone through, like I saw that shaman, high priestess energy. So like now you're learning how exactly to share these gifts with the world, but it is requiring you to interact with the world, which requires a certain bit of kindness, because why did you move away from the world in the first place? And so that's why you're expecting this powerful change. Like I said, I really am getting the sense that your external world is coming around to meet you. So yeah, whatever your intentions, whatever you're doing, win-win outcome, definitely forecasted, and you're definitely moving towards your destiny. So again, take this as confirmation. And something that has come through in the last reading, and I'm going to take it for all the readings, honestly, is that these external energies are with you no matter what this month. So no matter however else the rest of this reading has resonated, these two cards are going to be with you throughout this month. So you are doing the work, you are living your destiny, and you are doing it in kindness. Just so beautiful. Next, we have this, the divine energy. So we have 3 different cards for you. So all of these may resonate for you, or maybe just one does. I don't think I may have mentioned it in the very beginning, but as we move through the reading, most of this energy is going to be very much the same. So I would expect that all of these may resonate, or they may resonate for you during certain times of the month. So just take it as it will. Maybe save this to watch later throughout the month as you are moving forward and connecting with your destiny. Okay. So we have refine your attention. This is beautiful. So this is you, right? You're learning how to balance spirituality and practicality. That's all it is. It's just this very simple way of phrasing the fact that you are learning how your priorities are just needing to adjust. And something I would share is, just because you set up a certain schedule for this month does not mean it will be your schedule next month. And so kind of encouraging you to allow yourself to refine your attention, because you can go back and refine it again later. Yeah, this is just, and something too I'm hearing from Spirit is, no matter how you refine your attention, it's just follow whatever feels right. Whatever I'm hearing, you probably have in your studies certain symbols and signs that have been coming up. And so it really is saying, like, you can trust your intuition for where and how you need to refine your attention, and that it's going to lead you exactly where you need to for your destiny, right? As long as you are just like saying or more or better, and you're just encouraging Spirit to just surprise you in unexpected ways of greatness, you're going to still be able to move forward in this energy. And like, I'm just hearing like there might be a lot of doubt around like if you're putting your energy where you need to be, and like this might have been a trigger of like, oh, I'm wasting my time, or I'm not doing this right. And that's not at all what Spirit is saying. Like, in fact, it's coming through and saying like you can trust in the process that you've built up, and trust the fact that you can refine your attention a little bit further. So maybe put a little bit more focus. I'm hearing a lot of times when you're balancing like one aspect versus the other, and you're interacting with external energies, you could be trying to balance it based off of those external energies. But how balanced are those external energies? Maybe not at all. So instead, you need to make sure you've gained that self-assurance that you're just finding your balance within yourself, and then you're going to be able to exude that balance for others. Oh my goodness. I keep talking about scales. I didn't even think about the fact that you literally have the full moon in Libra coming out with the scales here. And we have 2 dolphins, 2 fish for Pisces. We have the 2 Pegasus, 2, and I'd mentioned it didn't feel like a twin flame connection, because we do have that as an, sorry, I'm trying to make this not look terrible. So it's not a twin flame connection, but it really is this sense of duality coming through for you, and it's just so beautiful. All right, and so let's go ahead and we have another one for you. We have faith. I love this because you're already doing this, right? Your main card came out, the fact that you are trust. And I want you to understand that you are trust. You aren't just having of trust. You aren't just putting trust in your relationships. Like you're not just trusting yourself. Like it literally is now like an aspect or a pillar of yourself that you can identify. And with that is just the sense of having faith. And so a lot of spirituality has come out within this group, a lot of the fact of like trusting within divine timing. And so no matter what, Spirit is just saying, like, whenever you're feeling unsure or you're having doubts, just take that moment to find your faith and like why you came this far. This is something too coming through around the whole balancing aspect. Like as you are balancing your spirituality with this energy, you are moving into understanding like what it means to talk about having faith. And sometimes people don't react kindly to that. And that's why we also have the kindness card come forward for you, is that you're just living with compassion and you are opening up your heart to all life forms. Okay. Again, this is really confirmation more that you are doing it. And this is something throughout the month you might like, maybe right now you need to refine your attention, and then you need to have faith to get over certain hurdles. And then let's go ahead and take a look at your third one. Accept what is dying. Okay. Wow. I wasn't expecting this card, if I'm being honest. So, wow. Okay. The main message that is coming through for me in regards to this is because, expect powerful change. Like there might be a certain fear, as much as you trust, as much as you trust the universe, as much as you've like dived into spiritualism and however you connect to your faith. Now that you're kind of like diving out, you're coming out of the water, you're coming out of those steps. And so now you're needing to understand, like I'm hearing like you thought you would grow gills kind of situation, or maybe you even did. But now Spirit is saying, like, no, you were meant to be topside. You're meant to be of the earth and to support those who can't breathe underwater. So that's why, oh, very interesting. Dolphins are mammals, right? They're underwater mammals who they need to breathe oxygen. They have to go up into the air and they have to get, wow, I love that. Okay. So anyways, something that's coming through is like you have to accept the fact that you can't breathe underwater and that you do need to resurface every once in a while and take that breath of air. Something too that is coming through is to accept what is dying is part of like that rebalancing is that there are certain things that you have to release in order to balance out the other side. So you've been very much diving into spiritualism, right? And you've done a lot of lessons and things like that. Maybe you're like, well, what do I teach first? And so that's why you need to refine your attention. And then with that is certain accepting what part of that energy is being let go and dying. And something too coming through is that something you may, okay, I'm hearing like you're going to be like a teacher throughout your life and you've learned so many lessons and you're like, I don't know how to only teach one right now. And that's why you're being asked to refine your attention and kind of accept your destiny and how you're able to share your gifts with the world. So part of it is kind of accepting the mentality of I need to do this now. And oh yeah, okay, so you are very much trusting, you're trusting within your divine timing, but all of us still have our doubts. So this is kind of the confirmation, the shadow work of this deck, where if you are having any doubts around what's happening and moving forward in your divine timing, maybe understanding what parts are being asked to be let go of will help you support in rebalancing those energies and finding that trust and faith again. Because a lot of times we don't want to move forward if it requires saying goodbye to something that we thought was going to be a part of our future. So definitely take it how it resonates. As I mentioned, it definitely feels more like this might be the shadow work. So during those times that you are needing to have faith, maybe this is the way that you find that faith again. Okay. All right. So last but not least, we do actually have some letters for you guys. So I just encourage you to take whatever words stand out for you. I'll share a couple. And then the other thing I wanted to bring up is that letters themselves can be taken as symbols. For instance, like the letter Y can be seen as like branching off into a new direction or needing to make a decision. A T could mean being a part of an intersection. And then you also may be able to apply it to like rune characters and other sigils and languages as such. So with that, let's go ahead and just grab your letters. Okay, so I'm seeing the word cert, which I'm like hearing the word like certified. This also could mean there's CERT is also an emergency organization team. I think that, yeah, emergency response team. I can't think what C stands for. Maybe community. But anyways, so this might be something to look more into. I'm also, I thought there was another E. I was hearing the word veer. Then there's let, vet, of course, wet, just, really getting all of that water imagery as we can. I'm also seeing the word like lever or leave. Like levy, sorry. So yeah, I definitely would encourage you to take these letters, how they resonate, and find any words that really support you. And if there was something, what I'm hearing from Spirit is the reason why we didn't get a lot of letters, especially vowels. Like this E is an interesting one. Because I'm hearing from Spirit, like this E is almost one that like, it might be the only letter in the word, or it also has an E. But you can make other words from this using vowels that are not present. So try to keep the same consonants, but you can use all of the vowels is ultimately what's coming through. And I'm hearing the word center too. I know we didn't see an N. But yeah, so sorry, I'm going to go ahead and leave it here. And I just encourage you guys to find any words or letters that really resonate with you and go down that rabbit hole and follow those symbols. As I mentioned, we did bring up dolphins multiple times, so if none of these letters really are clicking with you, maybe that's the rabbit hole that you need to go down. Ultimately though, this was a major confirmation pile for you to know that you are working within your divine timing. Expect very powerful change coming through and just continue to connect to Spirit as you have been. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it there, pile 2. Thank you for being here, and thank you again for liking and subscribing, and I will definitely see you guys next time. Blessed be. Merry meet pile 3. If you chose this Pegasus, this is your month ahead reading. Let's go ahead and get started. So right off the bat, of course, we have the Pegasus of the Sun. So something that I didn't mention in the beginning is that each of these cards were actually identifiers for yourself and your own energy for this month ahead. So such a great, beautiful card for you to be getting, because this literally is, you can take this as the same kind of energy of the Sun card in Tarot. You can take it as Divine Masculine energy as well for some of you. That may be very important here, who are needing that certain confirmation that you are really shining as bright as you were meant to. The other thing I'm hearing too is that can really resonate for all of you here, is that you are shining just as bright as you were meant to, and you are in fact being the sun energy, and you are supporting those around you. So a lot of times we forget that the sun itself is also a star, and it's and that I don't know enough about space, so don't come for me, but because it might be true for all stars, but our star, the sun especially, actually gives a lot of loving support to life. So sometimes we brag on it, take down on it because it gives like too much energy, or it's too hot and certain things like that. So this is Spirit really coming through saying like you can't help the energy that you are. Something very interesting is like, as the sun, you shine bright no matter where you're at in your moment and your energy. It is really just more about if others have clouds around them, then they aren't able to get those sun rays. But that is less to do about what you're able to put out and more about how they're able to receive. So a very interesting message coming through in regards to relationships, and maybe if you're working to support a collective of any kind, is kind of having that certain sense of understanding what exactly is within your center of control, because normally you're used to having a significant amount of it. But the main thing I want everyone here to take from the Pegasus of the Sun is that this is confirmation as you move into the month of March that this is going to be a really great month for you, where things are just clicking. You're feeling supportive, and yeah, you're feeling supportive is literally the word that came out. I was going to say and supported. So definitely this very much you are helping others kind of mentality and shining at your absolute brightest. So let's go ahead and continue looking into the rest of the cards, because this really can be taken in just like so many brilliant different directions. And I just want to see kind of more what these energies are coming forward for you. So this actually, at the time of this reading, we have the new moon. So I wanted to go ahead and take a look into how that's going to be affecting our energies throughout the month, because we typically are setting intentions, not just to bring us to the full moon, but for really the entire month of it. And so for you, we do have, look at the bigger picture, full moon in Sagittarius. So I absolutely love this energy for you, because I am getting very much that go energy for you, and that things are just kind of like happening. They're moving forward. And so something that I'm hearing from Spirit is going to be very important for you not to get lost in the details as you move through this energy. So I'm hearing you kind of have like big plans that you've been working on, and this is more so confirmation that whatever intentions you're setting, I'm hearing you're probably like really a big planner and get logical and in your head, and sometimes you like lose the middle steps. And so this is, or I'm sorry, sometimes you get lost in the middle steps. And so this is Spirit coming through and reminding you that when you have those moments of periods where you're feeling a little bit lost, like it's a cloudy day, you're going to want to remind yourself of your end goal and like why you're doing all of this work. Yeah. So what was that thing that made you venture out? What was your passion? Like, what was the idea behind it all? And motivation. There we go. I couldn't think of the word. What was your motivation? And let that remind yourself and refocus you into the energies that you're wanting to shoot forward. Very, very fiery, creative energy coming through for you, because Sagittarius is a fire sign too. So it's something to remember with that. Yeah, we're really getting a lot of the Divine Masculine coming through within this reading. So for those of you, that's going to be about literally you're being more disciplined, and you're able to create a space for others. And then for those of you, you are a Divine Masculine, and this is kind of like your confirmation that you are aligning to your purposes and how how you resonate with it best. Okay, so next we have don't let pride get in your way, full moon in Leo. I'm sorry, I just love this for you guys because it literally is just so on point with your energy. One, yes, so much fire. Literal Leos, I mean, Leo is attached to the sun. And then the other thing too is the fact that like you probably are like, dang right, I am the sun kind of mentality. And so spirit is coming through as you're just going through this month is to understand that not everyone else around you is, right? I'm hearing, especially if you're an extroverted person, maybe it's time to temper how much you expect others to connect to you, and understanding where their own energy is capable of. Like something that I just heard is like, the trees can't reach the sun no matter how far they stretch, and that's quite a lot to ask of someone. So definitely take that how it resonates. The other thing that I'm hearing is like whatever your intentions and plans that you're putting forward, something to keep of note as you're moving throughout this month is to remember, yeah, I don't like to encourage people. Like, I don't want anyone who's used to like negative self-talk to be like, oh no, I'm gonna be so prideful. It literally is just more of like, don't let your pride get in the way of moving forward. So if something needs to happen and it would require like maybe you stepping down, maybe that's something that's needed because you created, I'm hearing like you created an empire, and so now it's time for you to move forward and create something new somewhere else, or be supportive in a different way, so that this other person who you've supported this whole time, like maybe you've been a mentor, to where this other person is now able and ready to take that step. And so don't let your pride get in the way of saying like, well, I was always this leader, why am I not still this leader? It's because you've moved on to something better and greater that aligns with your energies more now within this time. The other thing that I'm hearing is that do not let other people's pride get in your way. So especially if you're used to that negative self-talk, you may hear it a lot from some external energies who want to invalidate your energies. And something that's coming through is like, remember that you are in fact the sun, that you are this bright shining energy, and you are supportive. And so if these other people are going to have a certain pride and kind of speak up in a sense where their shadows are being triggered, that has nothing to do with you, right? Those you are a bright sun, so of course there's going to all of a sudden be shadows that are illuminated, and that is just kind of part of who you are. And this is spirit confirming that you do not need to take those the negativity from others and kind of like recognize that they are just working on their own pride and their own ego, and it isn't necessarily a representation of your own. So definitely take those messages how they resonate. I personally believe that for a lot of us, we need to keep both in mind, our own personal pride as well as the pride of others, and how those energies affect us as we are working throughout this life. And especially if something you're working on is around supporting a collective, it could be that. So something too I'm hearing is like you might have, it might be the opposite where you're not a mentor who's like letting go. It's the, you're someone who's stepping up, and you're hearing people who essentially are like naysayers, who just don't believe in what you're working on, don't believe in how you see the future. And yeah, I feel like that really sums it up. But like they don't believe in you kind of situation, because it's coming through, and the spirit is kind of wanting you to remember that you are in fact the sun. Remember about your motivation, why you got into this, and don't let those prideful moments from other people get in the way. Especially, this has come up before in a reading, so if you were in that reading, well, comment below, let me know. But is the fact that like, is that kind of energy that you are a Pegasus shining so brilliantly that you're surrounded by horses though. So those horses can't fly while you can. So of course their pride is going to say you can't do that certain thing because they couldn't. So that's the kind of pride that we're talking about when someone is going to try